Okay. Right, we're the warm-up act. The jazz band don't actually get on till about just before 7, about 7 o'clock. So we were the warm-up act for when it was outside, as you're all walking in, setting up your blankets on the lawn. We were kind of the background music, and now all of a sudden we're front and center. So we have, on the bass, the band director, the director of music, Mr. Freddie Lomas. On the kit, we have Sky Spotted Eagle Thunderchild Henio. We also have someone else playing the drums a little bit later, but I'll introduce him when he comes to play. And we're very fortunate to have one of my good friends, great musician, fantastic saxophone player, and that is Mr. Greg Aker. And he's brought his toys with him tonight. He's brought his Hammond. He's actually got a Hammond B3 organ, which is massive, with a huge Leslie speaker. And he does actually carry it to gigs on a trailer on the back of his BMW. So, what's up?
And ladies and gentlemen, your leader and lead saxophone player, Mr. Rob McGrath on tenor sax.
Okay, before we start the proceedings, there is an important announcement I need to make. In case of extreme weather, i.e. a tornado, then we need to be going under the basement. Mr. Koulas assures me that his phone will start blaring out if there's a tornado, and we'll kibosh the gig and we'll get underneath the stage. So I have to say that. Okay, so we're going to talk amongst yourselves. If you want to listen, that's great, but it's kind of just background music. Okay, so we're going to start with a Kenny Burrell tune called Chitlins Con Carne.
at the end. If I just use at the end, can I just make it? Yeah. I can see it from there. I can see it from this side.
Thank you very much. So we've got a new drummer tonight. He was a middle schooler. Well, he still is technically a middle schooler, 8th grade, right? Is that right, Gorka? Yeah. He's a fantastic musician for someone such a young age. He plays the clarinet in the prep band. He does remarkably well on that instrument. And he plays the drums. And he's recently played the drums. He did the march we did in Fulton for the Churchill Museum. He played the drums on that. And he came to see me and he said, look, can I play drums in the jazz band? So I was like, well, yeah, okay, let's hear what you've got to do then. And he played his kit, and I've got to say, I was pretty impressed. So with TC leaving this year, we have a vacancy for a new drummer, so hopefully Gorka's going to step into that. So I'd like you to give a big hand and a warm welcome to Gorka Yarte. So this next tune we're going to play, I've got to tell you, it's a college-level tune. And the fact that he's an 8th grader playing a college-level tune is remarkable. Even Greg said today, I can't believe we're playing this, and he's only in 8th grade. All right, it's a tune by Keith Jarrett, and it's called Grab Your Gown, with it being graduation. Greg, grab your gown. Thank you very much. Have we got more people in yet? Yeah, it seems to be filling up a little bit more. That's good. Okay, so we're going to play a Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington. Duke. See, I've been living in the States too long. Duke Ellington, however you want to say it. This was made famous by John Coltrane and Duke Ellington, and it's called In a Sentimental Mood, and it's a ballad. Okay, what time are we out? Keller at Eel. So we'll probably play a couple more and then we'll get the jazz band up, because that's what you've all come to see. I know the boys are sitting over there, eager to get on stage and perform, which is how it should be. 305, I've got it on 305 in my back. Right, we're going to test Mr. Lomas now. I might say that Freddie, he's not really a bass player. I shouldn't say that. No, he is a bass player.
You should say that. You should say that.
He's a great violinist, clarinet player, conductor,
Cook. I'm single.
cook.
Still single.
I'm not surprised.
Thanks, mate. Number? 206. All right, Mister. I can't count though.
So he's only just kind of started playing bass. He played bass a couple of years ago. He does it for Jazz on the Lake, and then he never gets it out again for about 10 months. And then we start panicking and thinking, I need to learn the bass because we've got Jazz on the Lake coming up. But now he's saying he's going to keep it up, and I hope he does, because he's doing great, don't you think? He's doing such a great job on the bass. Considering it's not his instrument, come on. So we're going to play a fast one now. We're going to see if we can trip him up. This one's a John Coltrane number, and it's called Mr. PC. Actually, it's named after the bass player, Paul Chambers, who played with John Coltrane. So there you go, Freddie, just to add a little bit more pressure to you. All right. Okay, so we come to our last one then, and we're going to get we'll have a 10-minute break, and then we'll get the cadets up for the MMA Jazz Band. We have something special for you this evening, a bit of music for everybody. Should be a good, fun evening. We're really looking forward to it. So, this is a workout. 338. 338? Not in my book. I have a different book to these guys. I got mine in London. Yeah, they got it wrong. I'm page 362. Okay, this is a Freddie Hubbard tune called Red Clay. Okay, I think we made the right call about jazz in the gym, don't you? By the way, them two words never really go. I don't know any jazz musicians who go to the gym, so we're probably the only ones. So that was Mr. Greg Aker on the Hammond organ, saxophone player on the Hammond organ, Mr. Freddie Lomas on the bass, TC on the kit, and Gorka Yarte on the kit as well. I'm Rob McGrath, and we're going to give 10 minutes, and then we'll be in with this motley crew. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of the national anthem? Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a tune called In the Groove. And it featured everyone in the band, I think. There was no solos there, was there? There was all solos, yeah? So it featured the trumpet section, the trombones, and the saxophone. And don't forget, the rhythm section over there, way over there.
Oh, yeah. Make it dance. Don't forget that.
I'm getting onto that, Mr. Lomas. As you may notice, there's a squared area there. That's for you to dance to. If you feel like dancing, please do. We'd love to see your moves, Mr. McGeorge. You may also notice... where's it gone? Excuse me. Do you know, Patino never puts his instrument away. And the only time I don't want him to put it away, he puts it away.
Upside down.
Upside down, upside down, upside down.
Right, okay. You might guess what this is for, right? It's actually Jim Medley put me onto the idea. He said, hey, Rob, where are you going to put your donations? And I thought, ka-ding, light bulb. Patino's case, because he always leaves it out. But instead, he put it away. So if you want to feel like we're good enough and you like what we play, then please be generous. And it buys the band new music. So if you want us to play some new music, get into your wallet.
Mr. McGrath's holiday funds.
Okay, this next tune is a jazz standard, and it's called All of Me. And it was made famous by two vocalists, the first being Billie Holiday, and the second being Frank Sinatra. Now, in our band room, on our wall, we have a Western Union telegram from Tommy Dorsey of the Tommy Dorsey Band, and that's where Frank Sinatra cut his teeth with the Dorsey brothers, Jimmy and Tommy Dorsey. So it's only right that we should play this, and it's called All of Me. As written. Uh-oh. One, two, one, two, three, four. Okay, we now would like to take you to somewhere a little bit more sunnier than this, hopefully. And that is Rio de Janeiro, in that good old country, Brazil. And this is a tune wrote by Antonio Carlos Jobim, and it's called A Girl from Ipanema. And this features Gorka Yate. This is his first gig with the jazz band. So this is his first ever tune he's ever played with the jazz band. Yeah. Thank you very much. That featured Ruhan Chowrir on the alto saxophone. Big hand. Right, I need to grab a music stand now because we're featuring a couple of instrumental players. So I hope they're going to come out to the front. Wonderful World. Oh, it's not Song for San Miguel? No, we're going to do Wonderful World. We'll do that next. So this features our new designated band commander, Billy English. So a big hand for Billy.
Yeah, Billy. Yeah, Bill.
And our very own brand new, designated Battalion Commander Derek Nguyen on the trombone. Come on then. He thinks he's going to do it from his stand, but he's not going to do it from his stand. So this is the first time both of them have performed this. So they're going to knock your socks off. I know they are, aren't you, boys? That's a yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, band, don't play the first two systems, all right? Just the third system one. Okay, one, first system, 2, 3, Bit English, NG. Well done, boys. Okay, so that was Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. And it featured Bill English and Derek Nguyen. So now we'd like to bring Gorka back on the kit. Yeah, Gorka, it's your turn again. So we're going to go to Gorka. Where are you from? Is it Gorka? Where are you from? So Gorka's from Portugal. So we're kind of going to go. We're going to take it to Portugal with this one, and it's only right that Gorka gets to play this, and it's called A Song for San Miguel. So we've got Gokiate on the drums. Yeah. And Robert Abbott on the tenor sax solo. Now we'd like to take you to the silver screen, a movie that was made well before I was born, which featured Audrey Hepburn, and I believe the movie was called Breakfast at Tiffany's. And is that right?
Where do you go to?
Oh, you got a chuckle over there. Yeah, it was written before I was born, seriously. And this one is called Moon River. You'll all know this one. Ready? Two bars in. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Yeah, I was expecting to see the dance floor full for that one, with it being a waltz, but no one did it. Okay, I think someone needs to take a lead on the dancing. Cheryl Morris, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're still with the silver screen. This one I do remember. I remember it very well because it kind of takes the Michael out of my homeland, which is England, the United Kingdom, and Mr. Lomas's homeland as well. And the tune is called Soul Bossa Nova. It was written by Quincy Jones, and it was featured on the film Austin Powers.
So do these 60s dancing.
Do you want to demonstrate?
Yeah.
Are you going to be all right with that? Right here? That's the game. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, here we go. Don't really I'm going to nail it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, for our next two... Oh, by the way, that featured Victor Patino on the alto saxophone. So this next tune is one of my favourite tunes. That's why we do it. It's written by arguably one of the greatest jazz musicians ever that's lived on this earth. All right, and he was local. He was born in Alton, in Illinois, and he grew up most of his life in East St. Louis, and then he went to Juilliard in New York City, studied the trumpet in Juilliard. Didn't really enjoy it, so he decided he would not go to Juilliard and go down 52nd Street in New York City to go and find Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. And he found them in the Three Deuces, I think it is, the club called Three Deuces. It's no longer there. None of the clubs are there on 52nd Street anymore. And he had his trumpet with him, and lo and behold, luck would have it, Dizzy Gillespie was short of a trumpet player for his band, and he saw Miles coming in with his trumpet, and he asked him to sit in his band. And this, I quote, this is what Miles said, it's from his book, "It's the most fun he's ever had with his clothes on." So, this is Miles Davis's All Blues, and it features, Greg Patino. Features you and Greg on beautiful.
He's just found that out.
He's only just found that out at 77, Mr. Aker.
Second time.
Yeah, one time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Petito and Mr. Aker. Now I'd like to invite to the stage, don't come here, I'll get you up, all right? Gold State winner, Missouri State, vocal, solo. He's a great singer. I have him in choir. And we're doing material in choir that, well, I've never done before. And it's because of this gentleman, this young man, is a reason why we're singing the material we are in the choir in a minute, because he brings the standard up for the rest of the boys. He's a fantastic singer, he's a fantastic guy, and he's band first sergeant, I believe. So would you please welcome, next year's band first sergeant, Mr. John Murphy. Are you going to announce what you're singing?
Ladies and gentlemen, I will be singing Skyfall tonight from the movie Skyfall. It's a James Bond movie for all of you who have not seen it. The song is by Adele Adkins. And I must apologize, I was scheduled to appear on stage in an Aston Martin accompanied by Heidi Klum. Unfortunately, her flight was delayed due to weather concerns, but she will be showing up later in the show, that I promise you. Away we go. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment, so overdue I owe them. Swept away, I'm stolen. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let sky fall. Let sky fall. Skyfall is where we start. 1,000 miles and poles apart. When worlds collide and days are dark, you may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. Let sky fall. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'd never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in my hand and we'll stand
John.
Thank you very much.
Oh, look, they're paying that. Look, come back. Hey, sing more. Sing more. They're paying that.
Yeah, you're going to see John in the second set. He's going to come and sing another one with us. So we'll come to our last one of the first set. You can stretch your legs and use the restroom and things. And this one is a favourite of that young man there who's sitting on the trombone. He's also a middle schooler. Oh, he was. Yeah, you going tonight? Oh, he still is. Wow, and he's a middle schooler and he's sitting on trombone. I have to say, that's Landon Meyer, by the way. He hounded me all the time. Yeah, come on, round of applause for Landon, please. Yeah.
Hey, stand up.
He hounded me all the time. Sir, can I join jazz band? Sir, can I join jazz band? Sir, can I join jazz band? And I was like, well, you're in prep band, Meyer. You've got to wait till you get into, I want to join jazz band. And we kind of said, no, we'll wait till you're a little bit older and you've got a bit more skills. Anyway, jazz band rehearsal turned up. Guess who else turned up? Landon. So I couldn't let him go. I thought, well, he's that keen. We need him in the band. And he'll get it through osmosis. He'll get it all in his ears, this sound. And in a couple of years, he'll be razor hot on that trombone. So we're very thankful to have you in the band, Landon. We love you. All right? So this is Landon's favourite, and it's called Firestar. And it's a loud one. So solos in this is Delaney. And Greg. So we'll do it 3 times, so 6 times around that repeated section. C. So we'll do that 6 times. 2 times around the solo, so 6 times. All right, here we go then. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're ready to play the second set. And we're going to open with this one. You'll all know this one. Again, it's from the movies, from the silver screen. Was it technical of them, was it? So we're going to play the theme music to Rocky, Eye of the Tiger. I've got a little story to tell you on that one, actually. I actually ran up them steps in front of the Art Museum in Philadelphia. I did the Rocky steps, and I got my then girlfriend, I'm single now, by the way. I got my then girlfriend to film me, and she put it on time lapse. And it took me literally like 0.5 seconds to get up those steps. So I was pretty good about that. And the ironic thing was next to the steps is a statue of Rocky Balboa. And there is a line as long as you can see for people to get a photograph with Rocky Balboa. And across the road from the art museum is an elaborate and ornate statue of George Washington on a horse. But there's no one around George Washington, they're all around Rocky Balboa. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, so here we go, Eye of the Tiger. This features Jeffrey Delaney on the trumpet.
Yeah, Jeff.
Red book, great. Okay, let's hear it for Jeffrey Delaney on trumpet solo. Yeah. I'll introduce you to everyone in a minute, but first we'll play this one, and then I'll introduce you to some of the guys. So this one is again a jazz standard. It's called Jada, and it's going to feature Patino on the sax. Royce, we're going to hear from Royce on this one. Royce, give us a wave. Attentive as always. And then Mr. Aker, you go on this. All right. He doesn't know this until we're kind of totally putting him on the spot here. Yeah, good? All right. Okay, so here we go, Jada.
One time through?
The solo section.
23 to 39.
Yeah.
How many?
3 times.
Did we play last time?
All right, we go then. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, big hand then for Patino, Royce, and Mr. Aker. Okay, we're going to go back to New Orleans. Actually, I went there for Mardi Gras. It was awesome. I took my saxophone. I got to play on Bourbon Street. So that was great. It's a cool place. I love New Orleans. I think it's such a vibrant city, as most of the American cities are. So this one is called St. James Infirmary. And if you can imagine a New Orleans walking down Bourbon Street, funeral parade, it's all very solemn at the beginning, everyone's really sad. And then when they bury the guy, they all come back and it's a big party and a big celebration of that person's life. And so that's what we're going to play here. And it features Mr. Charrera on the alto saxophone. Bollinger, Chandler Bollinger, our band commander, XO, was band commander, now XO. Graduates this year. Oh, yeah. Patino again. And myself. Oh, I put myself down for this one. Okay, so I'm going to have a blow on this one. Okay, so it's called St. James Infirmary. We're going to take you right back to the New Orleans. Zeth Collin. Give us a wave, Zeth. Thank you. Right, next one then. Okay, I'll introduce the band in a minute, I promise. But first, we're going to get up El Maestro. Where is he? Where's Bond? James Bond. No, we're going to do it for the price of a minute. Feeling good, feeling good. Okay, so I'm going to mention this while John just gets ready. So the choir, we sung a song from a musical called The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd. And that song was called On a Wonderful Day Like Today. And we really enjoy singing that one. In fact, we're going to sing it again in the next week. And this tune is also from the same musical. By the way, the musical was a flop. It went on in the West End in London, and it flopped. It didn't make any money, and they scrapped it. However, some of the songs survived, and you'll all know this one. This was sung, made famous by Nina Simone, and it's called Feeling Good. Now, me and Greg Aker are going to have a tenor battle on this, aren't we? Greg?
It could be a slaughtering, we don't know.
All right, okay. I didn't want to do this, by the way, but the kids have put me up to it, so they all want to see me get defeated.
Sorry I was a few moments late. I was seeing if Heidi Klum had shown up yet. Do y'all mind if I give her a call real quick? Stop. Oh, there's no service. Sorry. This belongs in a museum anyways. It's a flip phone for all of you who don't know. They haven't existed for about 200 years. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. Feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleeping peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, an old world for me. Stars where you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pines, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I feel so good. Thank you very much.
John Murphy. Yeah, John Murphy. Right, I did say I'd introduce the band, so I'm going to do that, and it gives us a chance to have a bit of a lip break. So I'm going to introduce the guys on the back, the trumpet section. So second trumpet and solo chair, we have Jeffrey Delaney. Yeah. On sharing lead trumpet, we have Royce, Cadet Royce. Again, sharing lead trumpet player, Zeth Collin. Third trumpet, Billy English. And fourth trumpet, Chandler Kreuziger. Okay, for our trombone section, we've already mentioned him once, we'll mention him again. Lando Meyer. Our new battalion commander, Derek Nguyen. I haven't forgotten your name. Chandler Bollinger. Okay, saxophone section. He only joined the band, was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. He's never played that thing. I'll tell you, that thing is like, it's like having an anvil around your neck and blowing into an exhaust pipe. That's what it is like playing a baritone saxophone. It does actually make your eyes wobble on the bottom. So, Evan Schreier. On second alto, Michael Mashari Pagan. Next, you've already heard him play a few solos. He plays second alto and first alto. He kind of is our utility saxophone player, and that's Ruhan Chaurira. Next on saxophone and clartophone, or clarinet, is Victor Patino. Either one, right, okay. Robert Downing Abbott, how's that? Yay! Okay, now the heavy mob. So, stand up, Gorka. Stand up, Gorka. Come on, stand up. Stand up. There he is, Gorka. Hey! TC, Thunderchild. And on the bass, Mr. Lomas. And our guest artist tonight from Columbia, well, he's actually from Iowa, but he lives in Columbia now. He's part of the Columbia Jazz Orchestra, the fantastic Mr. Greg Aker. Yeah. Greg, do you want to do a solo in this?
No, you do it.
I'll do it. I'll run up there and do it. Okay. It's come back on again. Right, okay, so this is a tune by the Count Basie Orchestra. Count Basie from Kansas City. Oh, they were from Kansas City. And this is a tune called April in Paris. Now, it should have a trumpet solo in it. It's an iconic trumpet solo. But you haven't learned it. So I'm going to go run around there if I can get through. I'm going to run around there and attempt to play the trumpet solo on my saxophone. How's about that? Does that help you out? Royce, does that help you out? Oh, it doesn't matter. Right, here we go then. Count Basie's April in Paris. Okay, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Now we've come to the last few tunes of our set, and we've saved this till the end. When I was a kid, I played these, and I was in the UK, so it's only right that we should do these, and we're in the United States of America. This was made famous by a man from what was then the Army Air Corps. And as the story goes, he played a blues on a march, and it was St. Louis blues, and he kind of got into a little bit of hot water for that. But because of that, he started getting loads more gigs. And they toured with USO all around Europe during the Second World War, entertaining the troops. And that is, of course, the one and only Glenn Miller Orchestra. And just another little story to tell you, the ex-bandmaster that used to be at MMA, Mr. Paul Churches, I hear his name wherever I go. Whenever I'm going to do gigs, everyone says, "Oh, you're at MMA?" I say, "Yeah." So, "Did you know Paul Churches?" Unfortunately, I didn't. But I was someone told me he actually played in the Glenn Miller Orchestra. So someone who was bandmaster at MMA played in the Glenn Miller Orchestra. So that's another reason why we should do this. So this is our Glenn Miller set. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to dance, because that's what this music was designed for. Don't be shy. Go for it. This first one is A String of Pearls. The best things come to those that wait, Mr. Koulas. So that featured Delaney on the trumpet and Chaurira on the saxophone. Well done, very good solos. Excellent. I think we've got some fans in, lads. And there's someone shouting at the back. Right, here we go. So this next one features Victor on my left. Oh, you're right. On the clartophone. Yeah? And this one was going to be called, apparently according to the movie, it was going to be called Serenade in the Moonlight. But Glenn Miller said, no, let's call it Moonlight Serenade. First chair clarinet.
Military school.
Military school. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Victor Patino is going to take us through Moonlight Serenade. Okay, we've come up to our last tune, but before I tell you what it is, and it's a monster, is I need to... I'd like to thank Mr. Koulas for doing the sound for us today. He set up all these microphones. He came in early, sorted the lights out. So thank you, mate. Much appreciated. So this one, we only learnt this about a month ago, and it's not an easy one. It really isn't, so I'm pushing the guys on this one, and we've saved it for the last tune as well, so when our lips are just about gone. In the UK, we call this American Petrol, because it's so cheap over here compared to the UK. But it's actually American Patrol. So hope you enjoy it. This is our version of American Patrol. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Would you like one more? Would you like one more? Okay, no concert would be, especially after you've just done a Glenn Miller set, no Glenn Miller set would be complete without this one. This is definitely the most famous one he did, and it's called In the Mood.
Oh, yeah. Yay! Okay, ready for graduation next week. Okay, one, ready, exactly, get you in the mood. 1, 2, guys. Excellent job.
Thank you all so much for coming tonight and turning out when the weather is atrocious. We really appreciate it. Without an audience, we don't have gigs. So thank you very much. Have a safe trip back home, and I'll see some of you on Monday. Thank you.